Yeah, well, I just wanted to say that this past week was amazing, and you mentioned Adrian that I think she's on the line. She has an incredible last 3 weeks. I mean, she has something like 8 new consultants into her downline. These are new people that became consultants. No, we are not talking about people that she signed up before and they were consultants already. And there are several new consultants in the group. I think we have, I was checking the numbers right now, I think 52 new consultants this past week, and that's amazing. I will have more about the numbers in a few minutes, but yeah, we have an amazing week. I have to say that it's incredible when you see that we are in the summertime where we're supposed to be slow, but we are having an incredible movement in new people, new advancements. I mean, in our group, we have a one-star Golden Circle, Chandra Cobb, she became a one-star. Wendy Peterson also became a one-star. Jenna Fields it became a Crystal Executive. And then we have some, Joe Taitegi, I hope I'm pronouncing good, become a two-star. And we have so many consultants, again, over 50. I have not counted all of them, but I know we have a bunch of them. And then the enroller side, we had Natalie Hume. She sponsors 7 people, and we have a few people that sponsor 5, like Robbie Marquez, Anita Jackson, Vanessa. I mean, we have incredible amount of really great activity. We have so many people that sponsor 4 and 3 that we could spend a long time trying to go through all of those. But anyway, yeah, it's amazing what is happening right now. Even with, again, as I said, it's funny that it's summertime, people say it's slow, but it's in that speeding up because we are getting close to convention and people want to go to the next rank. And something I was going to say, until July 15, anybody can become a Crystal Executive, can be recognized, or any rank advancement will be recognized at the convention. Anyway, that's what I don't want to take more time on that.
Well, that's great news, and I just want to remind everybody here, whether you're brand new or you've been here before, on the BDP Roundtable we have some of the billion-dollar project leaders answering any and all your questions. We've received some questions via email in advance, and also for those of you who want to ask a question right now, simply go to your top right, look at for the go to webinar control panel, and look under questions, and simply type in, as if was a chat, just type in your questions and we'll try to get to them as soon as possible. One more thing, we will be having a recording of this, and it will go up tomorrow evening at the howtogetgoing.com website, so that if you have somebody in your team that was not able to attend, you will be able to, or if you want to listen again, you can simply go there and look in the archives for this webinar. So, Tracy, do you have any announcements, or Adrian?
Well, the only thing I have to say is make sure you're on George's mailing list. And this morning he had a fantastic message. I think it hit home to a lot of people. And so if you're getting his emails, make sure you read the newsletter this morning and look for it every Monday morning. If you're not getting it, George, you want to tell them how to get on that list?
Yeah, well, probably the best way is to go to wealth53 at mac.com, wealth53 at mac.com, and say to add you to my list. Again, it's wealth53 at mac.com. Or also, if any of you people in your organization have received, you have received a letter, forward to your organization, and there's a link there where they can actually also register for the newsletter. I think, I don't remember if we have a link on howtogetgoing.com.
Yeah, actually, if you go to any of the old archives or where it says BDP newsletter, you should have a link within that post also.
Oh yeah, that would be probably the easiest way, is to go to the archive of the newsletters and just click, yeah, and then click to register. Yeah, I think that would be the easiest way.
The other thing that I wanted to mention really quick, again, is, and congratulations to Adrianne, but I just want to tell quickly the story behind it. And Adrianne a couple of weeks ago says, look, I want to participate in the bonus pools. And I think at the time she had 2 consultants in her group. So she made a statement to all of us and says, look, I'm going to do this. And she made an intention, she made a statement, and she went out and made it happen, 8 new consultants in a week. That's phenomenal. But it comes down to making that intention, statement that you're going to do it, and go after it. And anything's possible. I mean, they give you 6 weeks to become a crystal. She did it in a week. She was already a crystal, but she did the crystal challenge in a week. So congratulations, Adrianne.
And something that I was going to mention, and she didn't stop there because she had new consultants still after that. She kept adding consultants.
Yeah.
I know, but the point was it's just...
It became an addiction, an addiction anyway.
Well, great.
Thank you, you guys. That was fun to hear.
Okay, well,
I guess started with the questions.
Yeah, we are ready for the questions. I am ready. I already have my baseball hat and my glove and everything.
Okay, perfect. So you're ready to field some questions here, George.
That's right.
Amazing. 2 foreigners and we get it, huh? Good. So let me dig through the questions. And just a reminder, go on the questions area of your GoToWebinar control panel if you want to add any questions or make any comments. We have right now several comments of congratulations for Adrianne, so thank you everyone. And congratulations to Adrianne and her whole team. Now, first question out here actually says, I get overwhelmed thinking of all the people I'll have to talk to get to my goal. How do I overcome this feeling?
Let me answer really quick that question, Alex. And the way I see it, and so many people get overwhelmed with the numbers, but if they realize it's just doing a little bit consistently, it's not about going out and signing up the whole world. It's kind of like your bank account. If you put $20 a week in the bank every single week, it's not a big deal to your paycheck, and it don't seem like it's much. But over time, that became a lot of money. It's the same thing in network marketing. You do a little bit of activity every single day consistently, and over time, that becomes a huge organization. George?
Yes, I agree with that. There is a very famous saying that reads something like, how do you eat an elephant? Piece by piece. And the same thing, you start little by little, and you start connecting with people, and just write the top 10, and then you start with the ones that could be the more influential. Make sure that you do 3-way calls with your upline for the follow-up, because you want to make sure that they see that there is support, because we rarely are profiting our own land. And they can trust you in many ways, but because you are new in the business, they may not believe you. But when you bring a third party, the 3-way call, that helps you tremendously. But anyway, that's just start one person at a time.
Hey, Alex, I'm getting a text here on how do you open the question bar.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, Adrianne, for the interruption. Yeah, basically all you have to do is if you look closely, you will see the questions little bar. In most cases, it's blue. There's a little triangle next to it, pointing towards the question. If you click on the triangle, you will open that box. Sorry about not clarifying.
Sorry,
No,
Adrianne.
no, that's fine. That's important. I was just going to say that I think that's a really good question, because that's always an initial fear. I think I was like in that whole realm of like, oh my gosh, so many people, how do they do it, you know? But you really can't say that, because if you're not in it, you really don't know how many people you're going to talk to. So if you just get in the game and you start making some phone calls and things like that, really the majority of the time I have found now is that I haven't been working with like tons of brand new people. I've mostly been working with a few good leaders and who they know. And so, all of a sudden it becomes a little bit more like you treat it like a business, because you're not like in fear, right? Like you took somebody on and you decided that you were going to help them and help them hit their goals, like help them hit consultant or star or executive, And so all of a sudden it's not going to be you calling a ton of people. It's going to be you really being committed to this one person who has some people to call. And you guys, it's just that same thing. It's, connect, present, and follow up. So you're not going to be on the phone a lot. Like, I'll call somebody's new person. I was like, hi, my name is Adrianne. I'll introduce myself. Hey, would it be okay? I tell them a quick story. Hey, would it be okay if we sent you, a video either through Facebook or email? And when can we call you back? So I'm really just setting an appointment. So I don't feel like I'm on the phone like all hours of the day, or that there's like 1,000 people I talk to. I don't even think I talk to 20 people in a week. I just really just end up working with them really specifically one-on-one. So you're just scared of it right now, but you don't need to be, because once you get started, you'll realize you're not talking to that many people. Like, it's not that crazy.
I know there's a way that we've all learned in the past, and Alex has talked about it recently, but one of the best ways to handle a large group, and I'll let Alex answer this, but if you take it in groups of 10, Alex, do you want to go ahead and answer that?
Yeah, actually, there's three numbers I love. I love the number 2, the number 5, and the number 10. And the number 10 is, we have, many of us have several thousand associates, and we cannot dedicate the time to all of them. We couldn't be doing three-way calls with absolutely everybody. But in my case, for example, what I have decided to do is I took the compensation plan and chose what's optimal. And optimal is to become an executive as fast as possible. That means that you have 10 personally enrolled people that are consultants. And you concentrate on those 10 people and help them do exactly the same. You help them concentrate on their 10 people, and each one of those 10 people will concentrate on their 10 people. So if you start to think about it, you're working with 10 people who are working with 10 people, that's already 100. And those 10 people from each one of your 10 work with another 10, that's already 1,000. And if you have 1,000 people on Autoship, that is going to be an incredible ride and experience with residual income. The other number that I mentioned is the number 2, which of course is the power of 2. And then the number 5 is something that's pertinent to this particular question. I myself was overwhelmed. I was making pretty good money as an architect, but I was working way over 80 hours a week. And I did not have time to start this business. So I said to myself, you know what? Each hour I'm going to take 5 minutes and dedicate it to getting started in this business. So I got used to, when my watch would beep at the top of the hour, just take a time out from whatever I was doing, and for 5 minutes try to connect with people. And I would start at 9 o'clock in the morning. For 5 minutes, try to connect with people, then go ahead at 10 o'clock in the morning, at 11, and so on. So from 9 in the morning until 9 in the evening, I was able to get a whole hour without really basically interrupting my day flow. And nowadays, it's much easier, because connecting with people not only means trying to get them on the phone. We can connect with people through Facebook, we can connect with people through Twitter, we can connect with people with email, and amazingly, we can still speak to people that are around us. So this is fantastic to do 5 minutes at a time. And then that objection of feeling overwhelmed is gone. So actually, I think this was a fantastic question, and I thank you, the asker of the question. We'll move on now to the second question, and this this is basically a question: should I prospect my friends through Facebook or in person?
My question is, how do you feel more comfortable? Obviously, it's better when it's in person, and the best way to in person is just ask questions. When I mean ask questions, we have some scripts that you can see in howtogetgoing.com, and the same scripts that you use for Facebook, you can use it when you call somebody on the telephone. And the reason I say in person, when I mean in person, actually, you are calling the person on the phone. It's an advantage. However, it's an advantage because they hear your voice. However, that doesn't mean that you can't do the same thing through Facebook. Now, if you want to go into talk to a lot of people very quick, probably Facebook is the easiest way because you can have 2 or 3 conversations, 4 or 5 at the same time, and you can go quicker through people. But again, you make sure you follow the script, because if you don't, they're going to shut you down, or they're not going to listen to you, etc. And then when they are ready to watch a video, or to get more information, you send them to a video, and we have several trainings that show how to do it. And then you follow up with a person on the telephone, by the way. You don't follow up on Facebook. You call them. You call them. It's important to be on the phone and the follow-up. And it's very important if you call on a follow-up with your upline, or on a 3-way call. It's more powerful for the same thing that we were saying at the beginning. But yeah, you can do it either way. It's just that it's more powerful in person.
Well,
Yeah,
one thing
I
I'd like
agree.
to add. Go ahead, Adrianne.
I'm so excited, Tracy. I'm sorry. This is like my favorite question, because whenever I'm working with somebody who is new, I ask them immediately, like, how do you want to contact the people that you know? And because I literally ask them, like, hey, do you know, like, have you asked this friend yet about Isogenics? No, you haven't? Okay. So you don't know if they're going to give you a yes or no yet. So I ask them, like, specifically with each person, like, hey, is this somebody we should be calling, or can we also send them a Facebook message? Like, which do you prefer? How do you prefer to start the conversation, right? And some of them will be like, oh, that's my dude. Like, that's my buddy. I'm going to call him right now and be like, hey, I got this really cool thing. You ought to check it out. Would it be okay if I sent you a video? And so you'll be like, you should just, like, you'll kind of know. But if you don't know and you're a little nervous, you still want to connect with them. So I love Facebook, or even love text messaging. Like, you could just text and be like, hey, what have you been up to? If you have their number, But like the other day, like, I have this girl's phone number in my phone, but we haven't talked in like a long time. And I knew the best way to connect with her was going to be Facebook, because I didn't want to overwhelm her, and I didn't want to be overwhelmed if she was like, oh, yeah, it's been like super, super long time. So I just sent her a message on Facebook using the scripts, like, hey, Mackenzie, how have you been? I was just thinking about you. How's your bodybuilding going? And she's messaged me back, and then that's just how we happen to start the conversation. Now, I said to her, I literally set an appointment with her on Facebook. I'm like, hey, we both live here. This is silly. We should just get together. And she's like, you're right. Let's get together. I want to know more about it, after she'd watched, an ISA Athletes video. So I'm giving you an example, but that is because however you feel right about connecting is the right way. Okay, like, you can't connect the wrong way. But just get a feeling. You'll be like, okay, is this somebody I really should, like, I don't know. But don't not connect with them because you're unsure. Just send a text, or, find a way to communicate with them in some way. It's no big deal. It's just actually getting it out there. And once it's done, you'll be like, like, I've sent messages on Facebook where literally I, like, scream afterwards. I'm like, I don't know if that was the right thing to do, I'm never always 100% sure, but it always ends up working out, because the whole goal is just to start the conversation that hasn't been started yet. So hopefully that's just the way that I do it. And I love it, because that's how I get my new people going, is I'll sit down with their Facebook in front of me, and I'll be like, log into your Facebook. Hey, tell me about so-and-so. Tell me about this person. Tell me about that person. We'll send out a series of messages, So that's the first way I like to do it. But they'll tell me as we're going through it. They'll be like, oh, no, that's my really good friend. I should probably call her, or I should probably call him. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So just getting in there, you'll know. And it's just so much fun, you guys. Just send the message and see what happens. You might scream a couple times after. It's okay. Just start the conversation.
Perfect.
Great.
That's the only thing I was going to mention is for a new person, sometimes Facebook is the answer because they don't have to have any training. Anybody can type a script. But Adrianne's absolutely right. If you have a new person and you're going through the list with them like a good upline would, they're going to tell you, no, I need to call this person, but no, this person yell at Facebook. And they both work well. If you've got excitement in your voice, obviously the phone's going to be better because excitement sells people.
Yeah, I have a little tip here on Facebook, something really cool. When you sponsor somebody, let's suppose that I sponsor Tracy, and I tell Tracy Larsen, okay, he's in Facebook, and he say, I'm going to post something on your wall to start the moving rolling. Tracy sign up, let's suppose today, and then I go to Tracy's wall, and I'm going to post, I'm teaching something less simple. I'm teaching Tracy how to earn money using the internet, and we are looking for 4 more people. And then, of course, people are going to ask Tracy, what is that? Who's that guy that posted you? And that's a good way to keep the ball rolling. Or if Tracy had good results with the products, you say, I helped Tracy to lose 50 pounds. If you want to know more, we are looking for 4 more people. People are going to approach Tracy. And if they approach me, for example, I say, yeah, Tracy and I are working together with you. And that's a good way to create curiosity, by the way. It's not the only way, but that's a good way to create curiosity. It's a little tip here.
That's excellent, and that's the one thing to remember about Facebook. When you contact one person, you're usually contacting hundreds of people.
I know, and that's a cool way to. That's right. For every, think about this. For every person that you have as a friend, you have a potential of 100. And you can go to. I'm not going to go into why, but you can go to the training that I have. But that means that you have 100 friends multiplied by 100. You have the potential of 10,000 per contacts. Think about that. Anyway, let's go to another question before we get here so excited about this topic.
And by the way, before we move on to the other question, you know, a lot of people have been actually asking how to get to the scripts, and at the How to Get Going page, all you have to do is go to the bottom of each one of the pages, and there's a section that says George's Scripts. Just click in there, and then you bring up this page, which has all of George's scripts for use on Facebook. So let's go to another question, and actually I'm going to bring this on screen. And the question is, sometimes coaches don't coach, and they say, if you give me 100%, I'll give you 100%. What if we can only give 10 or 15%? Does that mean we don't get help?
Yeah, you get 10% or 15%. We match what you do. And let me tell you what is 10% or 15%, because I want to make sure that you understand this. If you have only 20 minutes a day or an hour a day, but that an hour a day or 30 minutes a day, you are giving 100%, we work with you 100%. And that's the only way that you can do the business. You cannot, if you have only 30 minutes a day and you're going to give only 15% of those 30 minutes a day as an effort, it's not going to work. Let me show you a very good analogy. If you try to download a software and you download it 99%, it's going to work? It has to be 100%. Or something else. Imagine for you guys, well, let's go to the ladies here. Let's assume that a guy come to you and say, you know what, I'm 99% committed to you. What do you think? It doesn't work that way. Even if you have 20 minutes only a day, but you say, oh, I'm going to commit 100% of those 20 minutes, then you're going to have success. You cannot be successful having 99% or 15% or 10%. And again, 100% doesn't mean that you're going to be 100% in the business 24/7. It's just that if you said, I'm going to work 20 minutes Tuesday, those 20 minutes is going to be focused in the business and not talking about other things or anything like that. You're just focusing and working the business and talking to people on Facebook or in person, and sharing testimonials. That's what 100% means. It's not the time that you're putting into it.
Well, also, George, if they're talking about 100% of their day, 10% of 100% of their day is a lot of time.
Yes, if you're talking about time, it's different. But when we talk about 100%, we are talking about the time that you are giving, not the time that not that you have to be full time. Because even for myself, that I'm on a call, I mean, I supposedly have full time in isogenic, but I don't think I use more than 25 hours a week.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. If you've got,
Yeah.
if you're going to say a week is 40 hours, that means that you're going to spend 4 hours a week working your business at 10%.
That's right. That's right.
And actually, one of the things that the way that I interpret it is, you have to be committed 100%. Now,
Correct.
if you're like me, I was only able to get started with those 5 minutes each hour. I mean, I couldn't do this full time. I had to do this part time. But the moments that I was working my business, I was 100% laser sharp focused. I could not think of anything else other than what my task at hand was, and it was very simple. And I had a fantastic sponsor, and George Ruiz is my personal sponsor, and he taught me from day one, you do three things, three steps. You connect, you present, and you simply follow up. And it's like I gave it 100% the time that I was working with that. So when a coach asks you to give them 100%, it means just be 100% committed. And when you say you're gonna be there for a call, or you say you're gonna do a three-way call or whatever, just show up. That's basically the way I interpret the way it goes.
Yeah.
So, Adrian, do you have anything you'd like to comment on this?
I think that. Okay, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You know what I think? This is what I really believe. I believe that as long as you're committed 100% to your success, you will create success for others. And there won't be this, like, if you give me this, I'll give you that. If you do this, I'll give you that. That's going to happen naturally just by working with the leaders who kind of, because it's like, the cream always rises to the top of the milk, right? So, I was just talking to a really great leader today. Her name is Mika Shines, and several of you guys know her. But Mika and I were talking about, sometimes it's like hard to know, who really requires the majority of my attention, so I can really create some results within our team. And, the reality is I told her, I said, go tell them what your intent is, before July 15th, before Crystal Executive is over, and say, hey, if you're really serious about doing this, here's the regimen, get in or get out, not in a rude way, but just like, hey, this either is your time or it's not. You've got stuff coming up. You'll know automatically, but, there really is never, it just happens naturally, okay? So it's not like somebody comes out and says, okay, I'm going to give you only this % of my time because I can see you're this kind of a person. Nobody would ever judge you like that. They just want to work with you when you're ready to work. And so I tell people that's my motto. My whole thing is like, I'll know because you're either, you're showing up to meetings, we're doing three-way calls together, we're connecting with people on Facebook, or we're just not. And, and that's okay. Everyone starts in their own time, first 18 months of Isogenics, I hardly did anything. The last 9 months have been probably the best 9 months ever. And it's just literally because all of a sudden it was my time. So you'll know. Because literally your efforts will show. You'll be like, oh, wow, I am, you'll notice. It's like, I'm really rocking this. I just hit Star Consultant, or I just hit Executive, or I'm getting into the bonus pools. And it'll be because you're consistent and you're giving yourself 100%, which means you're giving your business and everything else around you 100%. So that, I hope that was my interpretation of that question.
Great. Well, let's again, I just want to add one thing. Jimmy Smith's George Ruiz is 100% is not the same 100% as somebody else's. So that's why you have different levels of success, and success is in a way related to the amount of time and effort that you actually put into it. But there is also another thing that comes into play, and that's part of the next question. And the next question is a very simple one. And some of you might not know what the law of attraction is, but the question is, does the law of attraction really work? And whoever answers this, if you can just maybe, for the people that don't know about the law of attraction, can explain a little bit what it is.
Let me go into this. The law of attraction is actually, if you have seen, you saw the last two webinars that I did, it's actually a scientific fact in the sense that whatever we think about, we are going to act about, and then we are going to create something. If you are thinking about something that, like, for example, focusing on your bills, guess what? You are going to create more bills because you are going to be directed to more bills. If you are focusing on opportunities and creating more opportunities, you're going to find more opportunities. And it's a question of just, it's a focus. There is something, Bill Mayer, who wrote the book, The Magic of Asking the Right Question. He say, where your focus goes, your energy flows. And I add, and the results shows. In other words, and this is part of the way that our brain works. Our brain works that way. And I'm not going to get all scientific stuff because it's on the first part of the webinar that I did last week. It's called Why We Act That Way. And there are two parts, part one and part two. Part one show how the brain works, and part two. But again, now, one of the ways to attract people is to become more attractive. How do we become more attractive? To creating more, first of all, to thinking more positive. Second, reading more inspirational stuff. Third, is set up goals and go for those goals. And we are creating more attractive. And of course, thinking and planning what you want to do with your life too, in the positive way. But yeah, the law of attraction obviously exists. Now, some people that are out there that explain the law of attraction, they forgot about the action. And some of them are just selling books. But in order to have attraction, you have to have action. And interesting, because the word of attraction, the law of attraction is one of the part of the word is action. And if you don't go into action, it doesn't matter if you are thinking about the great things in the planet, you're not going to have a safe coming from the sky full of money. And probably if it comes, it's going to smash you. But what I mean is, always you have to action. Yeah, but the law of attraction exists, definitely. It's a law. It's a law. And we can go on and on this. There are many books that I recommend for this, and probably one of the best is Born Rich by Bob Proctor. Although it's called Born Rich, is probably the best one explaining how the law of attraction works. And many other good books out there. The Charge by Brendan Bouchard is an amazing book too.
Tracy?
Are you there? Oh, for a second I thought.
Yep. No.
Well, I think George answered the question perfectly, and I can tell you that the law of attraction works, and I've seen it and seen it and seen it. One perfect example is, I know a few years back, George was looking for a certain person in his group.
Yeah.
And he came to a meeting. He says, "Look, I need this type of a person. That's who I really want." And he started focusing his thoughts there. And it was less than a week. He gets a phone call. "Hey, I want to see if you're the guy I want to sign up with in this company." Out of the blue, this person calls him the exact person he was looking for. And that's happened time and time again. Let's just say that it's a law of the universe. It's now scientifically proven. If you ever listen to James Ray, he says, this is the first time in history where religion and science come together. Science can prove what religion has been saying. If you have the belief, if you have the faith, and you put action with it, things happen. It changes the energy flow, and it really works. Adrianne, you got anything else to say about that?
You know I do. I love it. I always know when I'm in and out of attraction now, but it took me a long time to figure out how that felt to me. So I would say that there's so many great gurus out there. There's so many great people, and I think one of the reasons why just pick one and really like let it hit home with you. Don't move on until you get the point, okay? And the reason why is because, there's just so many out there that I think sometimes we skip from like one guru to the next, like looking for confirmation that whatever we're going through is like acceptable or it's okay, or, we've been through it before, so we got to get through it again. And, here's the thing, I would say, people have been asking me for, what have I been doing just the last little bit? And I posted it out in a big group wall, and, I got like 0 comments. And in my mind, I'm thinking, if everyone knew how much this one man's book or audio CD has changed my life. Because, the truth is, you guys, I don't have like, I've got my little twins running around, and they're going to private school. I'm running my Isogenics business. I'm, doing lots of stuff. I'm really busy. So like for me to sit down and go to a book right now is kind of like, it's just not going to happen. Okay. So I always have to download the audio version, and it either has to be in my car or on my phone or something, but it's got to be in my ears. And I got to, soak it up like subliminally or something right now. So the last book that I purchased is it's an audio book that I downloaded onto my iPhone that connects to my car. But it's Joe Vitale. He was in The Secret, so Vitale, and I don't think he would mind me sharing that everything he's done in this book literally has changed the way that I've run my business, the way that I run my house, the way that I am in my relationships, just in probably 6 weeks, okay? So I let it sink in. I stopped, like, jumping around and around and around because, I'll like, get through a couple pages of something and I'll get really excited, and that will help me. It's not that it's a deterrent. I just finally decided I'm going to stick with one for a minute, okay? And so I've been having this guy in my ears doing this, like, what he calls the clearing method. And I know just saying that we're talking about cleansing, with isogenics, but his book's about clearing, about creating a clearing for yourself so you actually can move forward with the intentions that you have. And they're only intentions until you take actions on them, just like George was saying. And so that's what I really love that book right now. So it's called Zero Limits by Joe Vitale. Go get it. Okay, it's like $19.99, the audio version or something. Download it. And the reason why I love that one is because he actually gives you some how-to steps that can clear yourself, clear your mind, clear your place every minute of every part of your day so that you can be present where you're at in your life. Okay, so, if you're with your kids, you're being present with your kids. If you're doing isogenics, you're being present and you're focused on isogenics. If you're out on a date or whatever, you're in a relationship, you're in that moment. And that's what I love about this Zero Limits clearing method that he does. But anyways, yes, it is a huge deal. It is like what I've been telling, Kathy Cooper called me the other day to congratulate me for being in the pool. She's like, yay, you finally did it. I'm like, I know, thank you. But she asked me, she's like, what have you been doing differently? Because it's not like you needed to know anything different. And I said, no, I just needed to clear the junk out of my life so that I could focus in each area that I felt needed to improve. And she's like, well, what were you doing? And I told her, I just said, I've been sticking with one guru right now, and that's who it is. Okay, so if you already have books and you open them up and you say, this is a book for me, then just stick with it for a little bit until you really start applying what they're teaching. And so that's been my secret. If you really want to know, I really do attribute that. I'm so grateful that he created that audio series that talks about this amazing what's called Ho'oponopono, and you'll find out what it is. It's a Hawaiian clearing method, and it's beautiful, and it's just really helps you get connected with what your goals are. It's not like I didn't want to be a, executive crystal, whatever, in the $100,000 bonus pools. I just really had some things that were not allowing me to attract those into my life. Okay, wanting and actually getting are two different things, and so that's my big piece tonight. Okay, like I know we've been through a lot of beautiful questions, but if there's one thing I would say, that everything has to do with the law of attraction, just like Tracy was saying. That's one thing that both science and religion agree on, is that is a reality. Okay, it's a law, and it actually does happen. It's happening to you right now, and so that's why I love this one, guys, because it really teaches you how, like, if there's something you're unsatisfied with and that's not quite where you want it, he gives you this really beautiful method. I don't want to give away the secret because it's really simple. It's not difficult, and it's not like over challenging or anything like that. And it's not even like you have to write stuff down. It's just you knowing some like a couple phrases that will really help you, move forward with your isogenic success and anything else that you're looking for. So yes, that is, like, law of attraction is the biggie.
You know, one last point is what Alex said. The law of attraction works, but what most people don't understand is it works both ways. If you're not moving forward and improving and doing positive things, you'll be attracting just the opposite. And you definitely don't want to be going there.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, and really quick, for those of you that read the newsletter this morning, I was talking about how challenges that happen in our life, and I was talking about myself. Were attracted by the way that I was acting, thinking, etc. In other words, yeah, the law of attraction works both ways, as Tracy says. Really important. Okay, let's go to the next question. Yeah, because we're getting
yeah, actually, because we're past the top of the hour, and we can only take one more question. Those of you who have sent us questions that we won't get to today, we'll try to email you back with an answer or post them on the howtogetgoing.com page.
Well, let's see if we can answer really quick, and that way we can answer one-on-one.
This one here, the last one is, why should I ask people to spend $500 when I can sign them up for $150?
Why not?
It's the same amount of effort. Would you rather get,
Yeah.
you know, and that's the difference between treating it as a business and treating it as like just a product approach, okay? You guys, the products are going to do their job. Just for, you know, move on from that, okay? They're going to do it anyways. But here's the thing. You can come out and you can talk about a 9-day program, right, which is probably going to give them some kind of result, give them some kind of a benefit, right? Or you can lure them in, and I literally am using that word, because if you're fishing for people, for good business builders in your organization, it takes you the same amount of effort to spew out things about the 9-day as it takes you to spew out things about the President's Pack. They get to choose. Let them choose, okay? But you don't make the decision for them. No, you say, hey, I've got plenty of options, you know. I've got packages anywhere from $1,000 down to $400. You know, and I don't know what your budget is, but let me explain some of the differences on some of these. And I don't talk about the business pack, but I go straight into the President's Pack and I say, you know, do you like saving money? Yeah. Okay, this is the most amount of product for the least amount of money. How simple is that? Okay, it's $559, and this is what it comes with. Here's the next package I recommend, right? I usually only recommend 3, and they're usually the President's Pack, the Total Health Longevity, and the 30-day. If they literally cannot afford any of those, I don't turn them away. I'm just like, okay, tell me what your budget is. All right, let's see what we can work out. But don't take that, you know, that option away from them. People like choices. They want to see what the options are. You're probably selling yourself short, and you don't even know it. You know, you could be making way more bonuses and a lot more money in isogenics just by coming out and letting them choose, you know, one of those kits. So, that's what I teach my team. I tell them that. I said, how long does it take you to talk about each pack? A couple minutes. Okay. Why don't you start talking about packages that benefit both of you? Because retention is a huge thing in this industry. You don't want to do something over again. That's why you're getting into this industry, is because you literally want time freedom. So, you know, if you're just going to sell somebody a package, you're always going to be a salesperson of some kind of product. But if you can get them started and excited, somebody comes in with a $559 package, okay, you better commit to them as a leader that you're going to help them make that back. And if they don't, that's fine, but you need to tell them that, like, this is my commitment to you, and the reason why I'm sharing this package with you is because you're going to have a great result. In fact, it's a family pack. Why don't you and your husband share it, okay, instead of purchasing 2 separate kits or whatever? So that's my big thing about it. I'm really passionate about that, because you don't want to sell yourself or your client short by assuming that they wouldn't be interested in that. Yeah.
Okay, let me answer in something really simple. Statistics. The statistics show, and for those of you that went to the convention, the New Year convention, that people that come with a President Pack or higher, they have something like 70% more retention than any other package. And that the second package, not even the other package, the second package, the lower packages had the highest attrition and only have something like 90% attrition within the first 30 days. You don't want that. You don't want that. And there's a reason. When people come with $150 or $180, many times they don't take it really seriously. And even that consciously, they think unconsciously they are not. And that's human nature. And that's the way that our brain works. The higher the investment, the stronger you're going to go into the business. The other part is when you get in a package like President Pack or the family packs, you are going to get more products. And what happened is that some of them are what they are called sticky products, and this is a marketing term. Sticky products mean if you don't like the flavor of the shake, for example, or the flavor of the juice, but then suddenly you love the bars, and then you love the ice of fruits, and then you love something else, and then you love the essential for men or women. That, by the way, those are the idea, the essential with product B. Then what happened is that you are not going to stop ordering. But if you only get a person with the 9 days and they say, I hate the flavor of the cleans, oh, you are in bad shape. And that's one of the powerful reasons why the President Pack and the Business Packs are so successful. Also, and this is something I'm going to add, any package that had the essentials with product B had a higher retention rate than the one that done with a section, obviously a President Pack, although President Pack has also the power product B, but it has the highest retention rate. And I prefer to go with a statistic, but that's something that I've seen all my life since I've been in network marketing, and I joined in 1992. People with the higher packages stay longer, and usually is where you are going to have most of your leaders. That doesn't mean that other packages you are not going to have leaders, because any package is going to bring leaders. It's just that most of your leaders also always come from the bigger packages, and that's something that is again human nature. It's something in the conscience. I put more money, I expect to receive more. That's something that comes in the conscience of the person.